Greetings and salutations from the sand, sun, and surf of Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard in the foggy island of Nantucket. It's great to be with you on this late Sunday afternoon, the second day of October 2011. Drying out here on Cape as we've experienced a few days of torrential downpours coupled with some falling temperatures right on time for October's entrance into our collective lives. A fairly quiet week comparatively on the Sunday talk shows, although I've yet to watch Meet the Press with David Gregory, only able to stomach this week with Christian Amanpour, who touched on everything from Herman, Don't Call Me Herb, Kane, whose surprising rise in the polls only solidifies that current dissatisfaction amongst likely Republican voters who are looking for the ghost of former President Ronald Reagan without all the liberal policies that would not have a snowball's chance in hell of passing if he were elected president today. Yes, looking for that former President Ronald Reagan ghost. In candidates who are deeply flawed on so many conservative platforms. What's a plutocrat to do? If you've been following any of Chris Christie's hullabaloo, you know that A, he insists that he ain't running, as he goes on national talking tours with suspicious members of the audience begging him to run for the highest office in the land. B, his policies in New Jersey may not hold up in corporate-designed grassroots Tea Party / Republic of America land, as the new litmus tests include, as always, per the henchman puppet Grover Norquist, no new taxes of any kind, destroying all social programs that don't involve the top 1/10 of the top 1%, slashing regulatory agencies designed for the good of us all, dismantling the EPA, dismantling unions at any cost, intimidating voters who would most likely vote Democratic at the polls, while simultaneously making it more difficult via new voter ID laws in many states now for the poor, the elderly, the young and minorities to exercise their constitutional right as citizens of the United States to have their voices heard, i.e. one man or one woman equals one vote. All while keeping the status quo of large multinational corporations running our government via the corrupt lobbying practices of the past 50 years or so, thus ensuring the Grand Canyon between the haves and the have-nots remains the same. Through a highly suspect tax code and regulatory joke on a casino-like rigged banking system that acts more as an entertainment app than it does a respected investment community. A community that truly is interested in pushing this country forward into the 21st century, all while ensuring our government and its people are its first priority. This, my dear friends, is the rub. For nothing will change until those fundamental issues are addressed head-on by real leaders who are not afraid of the status quo, rather are hell-bent on making this country right again, a land where people get a fair shake and are not always looking over their shoulders for the next financial institution to give them a pink slip on their lies by way of predatory lending, hidden in new fees, like Bank of America charging $5 for the use of their ATMs, another example of nickel and diming to death of the common man or woman, and general dishonest big business practices. Easy for me to say. Most people are beginning to see the light, especially the young minds across this great land of ours, who have taken this fight to the streets. Welcome to Occupy Wall Street, a movement that has gone viral as this national calling out of these corporate thieves sweeps the country from sea to shining sea, if you pardon the patriotic plumage. Boston, Denver, Detroit, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Memphis, and yes, the Big Apple, along with many other locales, are just getting warmed up. But what else should these poor folk do? They don't have jobs, and they don't have any decent prospects for the future. I ask you, Brothers Koch, what would you do in a similar situation? Nothing. For you would answer that query by stating that you would never be in that situation, and thus the question is not applicable. Further, they are just filthy hippies. Right, Senor Koch? Union members, college students, poor people, elderly people, minorities, you know, the little people, or whatever you call them at Bushwood. I guarantee you'll never be a member here. Credit, the late, great Ted Knight from the classic film circa 1978, Caddyshack, are still human beings, not to mention citizens of this country, and no matter how far you try to push them down, they will rise up and their voices will be heard. Have a nice day, folks. You guys. And keep on dodging those wooden nickels offered up by the likes of Fox News. The side effects include blurred vision, nausea, vomiting, thoughts of suicide, aggression, anger, paranoia, sleeplessness, rashes, short-term memory loss, and, in rare instances, babies. Preserve the wilderness. Peace.